Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel of my life and our world. And if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel if you like any of the content that I put out there. And also if you like this video, then please give it a nice big thumbs up. But if you're here for today's video, then you're probably wanting to know just a bit more about thrift shopping. And I'm going to be giving you guys 10 reasons why you should start being a thrifter, why you should start going to the thrift stores and seeing what you can find. So let's just get right into it and see if there's anything you might learn. So one of the #1 reasons that I always try to get my friends to start thrift shopping is because it's eco-friendly. It is really good for the environment because you are saving all those things that are in a thrift shop from being thrown away and ending up in landfills, which eventually are influencing our environment. And so this is actually one of the reasons I thrift shop the most, is because it's really hard to find clothes and products that are sustainable and ethical. There are starting to be a little bit more brands nowadays, but when you go to a thrift shop, you're not buying a product from that specific brand or designer. It's already been bought. So really what you're doing is you're just supporting that specific thrift store, and that's where your money's going. But you're also giving a product that has already been used and loved or hated a new chance at a life, and it's just being reused. And that is what I just love about the whole thrifting scene, is because you really know that you're being a conscious consumer, and that is just what I'm all about. So just remember the next time that you're thrift shopping that you are making a really good eco-friendly choice for the environment. So the second reason that you should start thrift shopping is because it is budget friendly. Guys, I absolutely love thrifting because you find things that you really love, but they're so cheap. All of these things are resold at such a discounted price that it's just like, I don't understand why more people don't thrift shop. And I think it's because there's like this stereotype that if you shop at a thrift shop that you're poor. That is not true. I think that if you don't have a lot of money to spend, then thrifting is the perfect way for you to go, and there's no shame in that. It just makes more sense than going to Target or going to like PacSun to buy things that you could easily find at Goodwill if you just spend some time looking through the racks. Now, of course, there are going to be some items at a thrift store that might be just really nice material or designer, and the thrift store is often going to know that, and that's why they will price it a slightly higher price. Sometimes I have found like a jacket, like a leather jacket, and it's super nice. You can just tell that this is like really well made. It's real leather, and instead of it being like $5 like a normal jacket, it's like $25. But if you were to buy it at its real price, it's probably like $300. So $25 isn't so bad. So just do your research when you are buying at a thrift store. Some of the items are just going to be such a good deal, and if you like it and it's a good price, then you literally have nothing to complain about because it really saved you the money. So #3 on my list for why you should thrift shop is because you're often supporting a charitable cause. A lot of these thrift stores like Goodwill or Salvation Army, they are run by nonprofits or by a charity, and so all the money that they receive from the items that they sell is going towards that organization. Of course, each thrift shop is going to have its negatives and its positives. So if you don't like one specific thrift store or you don't like what they represent, then you obviously don't have to shop there. But I personally try not to dig too much into all of the thrift stores because at the end of the day, they're doing such good for the community, and they are also doing good for the environment. So if there's one specific thing that they do, I'm really trying to weigh what are the positives and negatives and which one outweighs the other. So #4 is my personal opinion, but I like to thrift shop because it's like a treasure hunt. For me, I go by myself or I go with my boyfriend, and we commit like a solid amount of time to go thrift shopping because I like to go by myself and just go through the racks. I will literally go rack by rack by rack. I'll be there for hours. And when you find that one item that you're like, I would never find this anywhere else, it makes it all worth it, especially because you're getting it at such a good price. And so I just love the excitement. It literally just makes me so happy when I come home and I'm like, you will not believe what I found at Goodwill today. You won't, like, I'll show my mom, I'll show my grandma, and they're like, you what? You spent $3 on that? And I just love it. You know, it's like the excitement. It just makes me happy. You know, I don't do a lot of really exciting things in my life, so this is like the closest thing that I get to like pure excitement, but it's just my opinion. I know that a lot of people can feel the same way. People make videos about like the treasure hunt of Goodwill. If you ever want to make a challenge with your friends, it can be so much fun if like you give everyone like a $5 like limit and see what people can find, because it can be so much fun. Like you never honestly know where you're going to find at a thrift store. So #5 on the list is that you're going to find things that are no longer made. There are a lot of types of clothing, a lot of styles, a lot of designs for furniture that just aren't made anymore. And most of the time this is just because trends come and go, or sometimes businesses come and go. And personally, I really like this about thrift shopping because I know that when I find things, it might be one of a kind, or it might not be able to be found anymore. Like some of the things you find thrift shopping, you can't find at Target or Walmart or Forever 21 because it's just not in style right now. Another thing is that the material has changed, guys. Clothes that were made in the 70s, 80s, 90s, a lot of the times they were thicker material, they were made really well, because this is before businesses really started to think, how do we make clothing as cheap as possible so that eventually it runs down and it breaks and people will have to come back and buy it again and again and again. In the past, clothing was made to last a long time. It was made to be an investment. Nowadays, a lot of businesses put as little effort as possible into the stitching and the material of the clothing because they want you to have to come back and rebuy it again. And that is just part of like their business model, which is ridiculous. So that's why I like buying clothing from thrift shops, because oftentimes they're gonna last 10 times longer than any of the other clothing that I have from regular stores. I also want to give a quick shout out to this shirt right here, which I actually found at the thrift shop as well. And if you look at this shirt, this type of style it's kind of in and it's kind of not. The high neck is definitely in, but the halter top definitely isn't, and the slit in the middle is something that I feel like a lot of brands have tried to recreate, but sometimes it can be a little too sexy. This is like just like the perfect amount for me. The material is definitely thicker and really sturdy, which I like, and just the stitching around this whole area, you can't really see it, but it's just stitched really well. And the back is actually all backless, so that's a little risque, depends on your style. But what I'm trying to say here is that this type of shirt you're not gonna find in a store anymore because it's just not the style of what's in right now. So number 6 on my list is that you're gonna be able to furnish your first apartment or your first home affordably. And this is a thing that I feel like a lot of people forget about because a lot of thrift stores hold a lot of furniture. A lot of people think thrift stores close, but you will not believe how many mattresses, how many side tables, how many rugs they have just sitting there waiting to be used again. And that is what I'm most excited about when I get my first apartment this summer, is decorating and going to the thrift store with Tyler and just combing through everything that they have and saying, okay, what are we gonna get that is affordable and it's going to be able to save our budget that we have. I just think that when you thrift furniture, especially for your first home or apartment, it just makes it that much more meaningful because you remember going and finding those things and you know that there's some history there. You know that they've lasted a long time. Sometimes people kind of like do DIY projects, which leads us into our next one. So thrift shopping is obviously perfect for DIY projects, guys. I just love going to Goodwill, trying to find really crazy things that I can DIY into something else. And I just think that it adds, you know, that little personal touch, and you'll be able to look at that piece and just remember the memories that you made DIYing it. And I just love it. It makes your home a little bit more eclectic, if you will say, a little bit more inviting, a little bit more homey, because you know that you didn't just go buy the furniture from Target, you put in the work to make it your own. So number 8 on our list for why you should start thrifting is because it lets you explore in a nice controlled environment some other styles that you otherwise wouldn't really try. I absolutely love going to Goodwill and just trying on the craziest things that you can find that you would never wear and realizing there's actually some things that you love. I've done this so many times. I'm like, oh my god, look at this crazy shirt. It's so weird. It's so 70s. And I'll try it on. I'm like, why do I love this so much? Why is this so me? I need to get this and it's good price and just everything checks out. And I think a lot of people just like it because it lets you kind of take a dive into the past, you know? A lot of these clothes that you find, they honestly might be from the 60s or 70s and you're really trying on a piece from like 40 years ago that you otherwise wouldn't be able to find in today's stores. So this leads me into my next reason of why you should start thrifting, and it's because it lets your wardrobe be really diverse and unique. And I love that when people look at my closet, they really see so many different styles. They don't just see girly or chic, they also see kind of hippie or a little bit more rocker or some grunge or really athletic. And I think it really lets you put on like this different persona when you get to wear all these different styles of clothing. And I wear some things and I feel like such a baddie, and I feel other things and I feel so nice and sweet and innocent. And I just like that you don't really have to stick in just one little box of style. style. But I also think it adds like another element of uniqueness to your style, because people will be able to point out that your style is different than other people's, that your shoes are different, that your shirt is different, because it honestly just looks different than what is in stores today. And I just love that. I often get compliments on my outfits, but I'm not kidding you guys. Most of the compliments I get are on clothes that I bought at a thrift shop and that I spent the least amount of money on. It's not the clothes that I bought Forever 21 or the clothes that I bought at PacSun. It's the clothes I literally spent $3 on. And that is what makes me laugh so hard when people ask me and I laugh and I'm like, oh, I got this at Goodwill. And they're like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because they just bought the same thing that was made from worse material and probably won't last them that long, and it was $50 instead of $10. So guys, I'm just trying to tell you, you know, really think about these things when you're shopping. Alright guys, so my final reason that you should go thrift shopping is a simple one, but I think it's one that a lot of people don't realize, and it's because the clothes that you buy when you're thrift shopping are often broken in. They're already nice and comfortable, and they've already been washed a few times. So you don't have to worry about the material loosening up or it shrinking in the wash or it like stretching the fabric. You know, these things have already gone through everything. They've already been worn multiple times and they still look great. Now, of course, it's not going to be always the case, because you are going to be able to find things at a thrift store that have the tag on them, which is crazy. I guess this is like a 11th little reason, is you're gonna find things that are honestly new that people have never worn and maybe just wasn't their size, or they didn't like it, or they forgot that they had it in their closet and it's not their style anymore. Just remember that most of the time, 90% of the clothes you're gonna find at Goodwill, they are really comfortable because they've already been worn before. They've already had that love, you know? And I like that, because I know that when I'm trying something on at Goodwill, if it fits me then, it's gonna fit me for the rest of the time that I have it. I don't have to worry about it shrinking or the material just like coming apart like a lot of the clothes that you find at fast fashion brands, you know? Alright guys, so that is all that I have for you guys today. I really hope that you just learned at least a couple things today from this video. I really hope that you guys can become conscious consumers. That is just something that I'm such a huge advocate for, and just knowing when you're buying things where they're coming from, what kind of influence they have on the world and the planet and the people that we live with. And so I just think that thrift shopping is just such a great option for so many people and for so many reasons. But I hope you guys have a great day, and if you guys want to see any other videos that are related to thrift shopping, like challenges, I could do like a price limit and see what I can find. I could also show you some of my favorite vintage pieces that I've found at thrift shops. But if you are interested in any of those things, please comment that down below so I can make those videos for you. But thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!